Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're back in the LMP3 car, this time at Watkins Glen. This lap was done with a fixed setup and a track temperature of 48 degrees Celsius. This is a really fun combo and I'm sure it will produce some great racing in the multi-class series. Before we get into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. With that said, let's get straight into the guide. For turn 1 I brake hard at the 200 board in a straight line down to 3rd gear. My peak brake pressure is around 90% and I trail brake to the curb. It's important to not use too much of the curb as it can unsettle the car, and the exit here is very important as it leads onto the main straight. At the end of the inside curb I get back to full throttle and begin to open up the steering. The track limit on the exit is the red and orange curb, so make sure you use all of it. One thing I noticed about the gearing in the fixed setup is that it's slightly faster to leave the car in 5th gear longer than you'd think. I shift to 6th gear at the DRS line. It only gains around 1 to 2 hundredths, but it can be the difference in quality. For this car it's very difficult through the chicane. I turn in at a 300 board and then trail brake slightly, dropping it down to 5th gear. You need to take all of the first curb, aiming to get as close to the wall as possible. Then gradually come back on throttle, get into full throttle when I'm confident the car won't understeer out into the grass on the right. It's very important to use as much of the curbs as possible to carry more speed and straighten up your line. Here I trail brake slightly and shift down to 4th gear. You need to be smooth with the steering and I get back to full throttle with the surface road on the inside, letting the car drift out to the curb on the exit. For this left-hander I use 3rd gear and begin to brake at the strip of road on the right. I trail off the brake quickly and keep the car tight to the inside, using all of the track on the exit without going onto the grass. For this corner you can brake much harder than you'd think without locking up, as the braking zone is also a compression zone. I brake on halfway between the 200 and 100 meter boards, using 3rd gear. I aim for a late apex and trail brake to the inside curb. You can get on throttle before the apex as the exit is very wide. I brake halfway between the 100 and 200 meter boards again and use 3rd gear. I turn in just after the 100 meter board and trail brake to the inside curb. Be careful when accelerating on the exit as the TC engages if you're too aggressive. All of the extra space on the exit is part of the track limit and won't give you enough track, so make sure you use it. For this hairpin I brake and turn in at the bend in the white line. I use 3rd gear and aim to apex in the latter third of the corner to get back on throttle earlier and get a better exit. This is another place where the TC can lose you time, so again be careful with your throttle application. This left-hander is flat if you turn in at the 100 meter board, and be careful with the curb as it can bottom out on the exit. For the final turn I brake at the end of the blue tyre wall on the left and use 4th gear. My peak brake pressure is around 80% and I trail off very quickly. I get back to full throttle at the curb, and you might want to leave some margin on the exit for the race to avoid damage, but in quali you want to get as close to this wall as possible without touching it. So that was one lap. If you take one thing away from this video, it should be just how important using all of the track is here. That's all for this guide. Please like it if you found it useful, and I will now leave you with the uncut hot laps.